Hello ladies and gentlemen, Simulation for the Nation here, and welcome to a bit of an update on two different maps that I am working on. The first one is the one that's currently available on the Mod Hub for all platforms. It is, of course, the Northern Farms. This one has been out now for a while, and there was a few updates that needed and changes that needed to make to it. Most of them, to be fully transparent, I'd already made and had intended to have uploaded for the original launch, but unfortunately there was a bit of a mix-up and the other version went live instead. However, I have made a few changes there, and the update has now been passed on to Giants last week, so they can do their testing and get it updated there. So you will see that coming through very shortly, all being well. And I would like to think that it depends on what you're looking for, really, as to whether or not you'll need a new game save. But typically, it wouldn't break your current game, so you can still use it with that one. So if you have put a lot of hours in there, you would see you could still continue. Also, though, similarly, if you're looking for some changes with some of the placeable features, so things like the sell point for your livestock there, that has been adjusted so that works properly. But obviously, because that's a placeable in theory, you wouldn't see that change without possibly starting a new game save. So you'd have to see. But a lot of the different smaller quality of life tweaks have been made. Tried to dial down the traffic there and see if we could slow that down, because I know that was a bit of an issue for a lot of people. And to give you full transparency, I've tried adjusting that, and it's not slowing down as much as I would like for some reason. But that being said, it is going live there, and that's probably going to be the last of the updates for Northern Farms. Some of the bigger issues that are in there would require a significantly bigger overhaul of the map. And for full transparency, I'm not going to be doing that. It is for the way that some of the buildings were built. As I was learning about this modern journey there, they were built in a certain manner which had to which meant really that they were going to fail some of the physics tests as part of the development. So they're not going to be rebuilt in the manner that I would be able to navigate around that one. So regrettably, they will still be there. However, the rest of the map is still very much available and ready to go, so I hope you do enjoy that one. And that's the Northern Farms update, hopefully coming very, very soon indeed. Keep an eye out on the daily Mod Hub update to see exactly when that will come through. Which brings me on to the next update, specifically Longford. Longford Island here, because we are looking into Farmer Phil's map, and we've been doing quite a bit of work on an area completely separate to Farmer Phil's yard, really. This is the sheep farm. And as you can see, it's come along very nicely. It's by the sides of the canal. A little bit of work to do on the, well, a lot of work to do everywhere else, and a bit on the canal there as well. But you'll see this piece is coming together. And if I just skip along over here quickly there, you'll see this is one of our routes in. This is like a big ditch network that goes up the side of the canal there and also runs to that field. We're on the very edge of the map here. The map will have a border on, so it's kind of hidden a bit more and it looks a bit more enclosed, but we'll get to that bit. There is a farmhouse here, and then there is a sheep pasture here, as well as a couple of other sheds as well. I'm going to build a few more things in the house here just to make sure that's all bedded in properly and done. There's a fuel tank here that's going to be positioned, and then there's going to be some doors on the buildings. But for the most part, we have a sheep farm. There's going to be a machine shed here, a big hay shed for you here, and then this is a sheep pasture right here. Now, if I just go and turn on all of my little interactive zones, which are always important to have, boom. There you go. So what you'll see is there are gates everywhere in and around here, which is great, but we're going to go just to this kind of sorting pen area here, and we're going to add in some sheepsies. I think we get 200 here. I might increase this number though, to be honest, just so you can get a few more in, make it a little bit more interesting. But there they are. They've got this giant pasture to play in. They've got the water trough there, the feed trough is over there as well, and then they're all going to be set. Now this is, I wanted a separate sheep farm to Farmer Phil because, well, the Stewart family farm don't really do sheep, which is fine, but I want us to have a different location. And you can see way over there in the distance is where your cattle farm is there, so it's going to be fairly close to get to. We'll jump over here. We've got a couple of different fields around here as well, a long track that hoons itself out onto the main road, coming through, and then like I say, big pastures on either side. I tried to replicate them as much as possible. And then the kind of piece of resistance here as well. The reason I did this was because I had to put this bit in to tie in the road network. And once you have that tied in with the canal bridge, then you can kind of build everything else in. So that is rather cool. As you can see, there's a lot of blank space still, so an awful long way to go. I don't even pretend to imagine this is anywhere near done, but it's getting there, and it's a good starting point. And like I mentioned, it ties in the rest of the line quite nicely. As you'll see, We've got road barriers on there already, and we're starting to build out along this way as well, which is great. And you can see exactly where Farmer Phil's yard is up ahead. Now, one thing I would say, some of these bits here are grass fields, that's fine. But there is a huge big peat field, peat bog, one of the two right here. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to replicate this in game. So what I'm going to do is I need an area that I can use for things like the BGA. Put a few different production points in there and have like a machine store. So I'm going to build that into this area and take probably about a third of that peat field. And then the rest of it I'm going to just turn into a peat field and have like as a model more than anything else. Because like I mentioned, can't really do a great deal with it, but it'll be nice to have it there so you can see it, because it's such a prominent part in this part of the countryside. So that will be around about here really, and taking up most of this corner of the map. There's going to be a forestry section here as well. Much like in real life, there is a big wood here, and we've kept it cleared out where we can, but these will all be trees that you can come in and get cracking with. But again, not too crazy full, because I didn't really think there's a need to have it that crazy. But the main thing in this corner is that the sheep farm is in. With a few touches there, it will be all done. That's one more we can move on from. I'm going to bring in a separate pig yard probably there as well, and then we'll have obviously multiple cattle yards over at the main farm, and then a few smaller ones I imagine at different smaller out yards as well, but that will all come in over time. And we're getting there bit by bit. It's ticking it all off really, so I'm really happy with the progress so far. I do like this yard in the corner. You can of course come on in as well if you really want to and build it in your own way. So what you could do is come on in, hit demolish, and sell my sheepsies first, but you get the idea. You can get rid of this entire shed here. I've kept that the house and these sheds are standard, but getting rid of this one would at least give you some more space to build your own yard as you'd see fit to. And that, my friends, is the latest update. So we're going to leave it here, but we're going to continue to bring you updates probably once every week really, with anything new, both on modern and also on this map as well, as we continue to progress through. So I hope you do enjoy this. Let me know what your comments and feedback are down below, and thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Simulation for the Nation. If you haven't done so already, do give it a big thumbs up, and we'll see you all in the next one. Catch you later.